And then your customers become your sales force. They actually tell everybody about their nice experience. You get momentum beyond your own efforts. That's a very satisfying thing that happens.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How we can find out our customers' truth?
Yes, it's very simple, actually. And again, I spell this out in my book. Chapter 3 is an instruction set. First, I teach you about how to think like a buyer instead of thinking like a seller. The minute you start a company, you start thinking like a seller. And you now have this big gap between you and what the customer's thinking. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, how do you find out? I've worked out this method. I spell it out in my book because I can't do this for everybody in the world. It just, you've got to find somebody who's good with people and will do a good job of interviewing. Second, use the questions in my book, which are very open-ended. How do you feel about our product and service? How's the experience been buying the company? Did you have any frustrations? That type of thing. What were you looking for in your own words when you set out to buy our product? There's an interesting question I ask. If you were the CEO of this company tomorrow, what's the first thing you would focus on or fix? So now when I take this back to the CEO, they go, oh, wow, that's the important thing, okay? You're looking for sales stoppers, the things where they say, oh, that's enough. I'm not going to do business with them because whatever. They don't get me, or they don't know what my concerns are. They don't answer my questions, okay? That's what you do. You interview, you create reports, you transcribe, you record them, you tell them you're recording, and everybody opens up because then I tell them the report is going to be anonymized. So I'm not going to say, this is what Joe Blow said. I'm going to say, here's what everybody said in answer to this question. And all the company names and everything are taken out because I don't want the readers, the managers, to be biased about those responses, and it allows the person to speak freely. And they're way more polite if they talk to you personally, and you won't get the whole truth. So you have to hire somebody that you trust that can ask these questions. And I've trained a lot of people to do this. By the way, AI cannot do this. If I get an answer...
Why?
Okay, I'll tell you. If a customer says to me, it was okay, AI will record, customer said it was okay. I will stop them and say, that does not sound like a resounding yes. It wasn't, wow, it was great. It was okay. Please drill down for me and tell me what the real issue was. Now, the customer thinks, wow, she heard me. She's listening, not to what I said, but what I really meant. And then they'll just open up because you've passed that little test. People, the first lesson you learn when you're a baby, when you come out into the world, is who loves me and who doesn't, who really cares about me and who's faking it. And AI can't care about anybody as much as they use your name and they try to personalize everything, but they're not caring. We've lost that whole idea of what it means to care about people, take care of them. And in my new book, which I'm still writing, is called Love, Leverage, and Logistics, How You and Your Company Can Change the World. And it's about the idea that companies are communities of people. And if you take care of your workers and your customers, you're going to build a community of caring. And that, in fact, makes the world a better place. That's my big goal.
Okay. The customer experience that we also see companies out there that they spend most of the money trying to get new clients, trying to bring new strangers to the company, and then all this big database that they have with people that actually bought from them, they are just neglected. They always have a new marketing voice because they want more clients and more clients and more clients, more strangers. And getting strangers is expensive. You need to find search the horse, like you said, and
Yeah.
this is an expensive exercise, right?
Yep.
Whether you can have a lot of thirsty horses, or maybe they're not that thirsty because they bought from you once, but they might need food. They might need, I don't know, shampoo, something, and they are neglecting. So, what is your take on this? The more we see companies, for example, if I give you a budget, if I give you $100, how much money of this $100 you will use into acquire new clients? How much of this $100 you will use to build and develop the relationship with those ones that you have, so you can offer alternative products?
I think it's actually if you split the budget, I would split the budget in three ways. New customers, 1/3. Taking care of existing customers, because by the way, they review you now. Customers can talk to each other. That wasn't true 50 years ago or 30 years ago, but it's true now. If they don't
Mm-hmm.
like you, everybody's going to know about it. And they can even put the review in Amazon while you're thinking of buying. Okay? You're standing there going, I have money in my hand. I want to buy. What do people think? And if you haven't been taking care of customers and doing the right thing, man, you're just dying a slow death. That's how it happens. So 1/3 for new people, 1/3 for taking care of your existing customers. And there's a lot of ways to do that that you haven't even thought about. And then the next third is building the systems that make it easy for them to buy. The systems and the processes and the training and all the things that you have to do, not just to make it easy for you to buy, for the customer to buy, but easy for them to find you before the sale, then during the selling process, and then how you treat them after the sale. Those three things are the absolute foundations of a successful business. If you don't do that,
So
you won't
again,
survive.
we're dividing the budget in three: 1/3 for new clients, and the other two parts. Can you
One,
repeat it?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
1/3 for taking care of existing customers, making sure that they're fine, that you're checking up on them, that maybe you call them, if it's a heavy or intense thing, you check back, see how you're doing, all of that. And then the last third is making sure that your systems and processes make it easy for them to
I
do
understand.
business with
I
you.
understand. Very good.
Mhm.
I get.
Okay,
Something that no one pay attention is about how to make this system to have less friction in the system, which is
that's the
actually,
word.
I think that this is one of the only thing that Amazon survived the dot-com crisis, is because the last money they have, they put it in that.
Yeah, at the very beginning, they put it in that.
Yeah, exactly.
When he first started, I was working in Silicon Valley and I thought to myself, wow, this is not a company saying, I have a product or I have a service. This is a company saying, I'm going to make it easy for you to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you made a list of every single thing they do in Amazon for the whole world to see, that makes it easier and easier, easier every time you go in there, you say, oh, look, they've got this now. I didn't realize, what other people bought, what they thought of it, reviews with pictures, AI summaries.
Buy with one click. They
Yeah,
invented that
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
One click,
That's
one
their
click.
whole, they did a customer-friendly infrastructure. That's what their product is. And they started with books. It didn't matter what they were selling. Now they sell
Mm-hmm,
everything.
mm-hmm,
And he's
mm-hmm.
a billionaire. Okay.
Yeah, just because he mastered this concept, unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Because of the he implemented this, very impressive, actually. And like I said, the bubble, the dot-com bubble, they survived.
Yeah.
They
He's
they
he's
survived.
his tagline, his basic
Their
goal now is making it easier for do business with us, like making to be the most customer friendly company in the world. That's their current mantra.
Kristin, because the other tech companies, they were taking all the money to get new clients, right? To
Yeah.
show that growth. They
Well, and they
didn't
didn't
put a
make it
third.
easy to buy.
They didn't put a third for what you said. Remove the friction to make it easy to buy. So they took all the budget and they say, you know what? We're gonna have as much client as possible. Let's
Yeah.
go and get as much market share.
Yeah.
And they buy
Yeah.
or die.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And the other ones, they decide the other model, which is expensive. At the beginning, it could be expensive, right? Like, but after I find out, for example, that they will say, well, if you don't like the product, you change it. Yeah, I find out that it's the supplier who pays for it, right? But to the eyes of the company is, again, removing friction from the client, right? That,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
No,
know, you
that's
don't
true.
like it, don't worry. We send you another one. Don't worry about it, as less friction as possible, and they keep always developing. I was in the facility not long ago, inside the facility, see all the dynamic of Amazon, and they are always certainly trying to get new ways to reduce as more friction as possible, and has become a, when it comes to sales, in and fantastic success. So for tech founders, okay, or for tech companies out there that don't follow this model, and then they're doing so well, and then next year they went to zero and nobody understands what happened. This principle, these three, this your $100, you wisely divided in three. What this is the same message that you have for a top founder as well as for big company, or you would change it a little bit more startup versus big company?
Obviously, every company is unique. And that's something people forget, that if you're selling the same thing somebody else is selling and the customer buys from you, one of the reasons you want to know the customer truth in that situation is because they have very specific things that made them buy from you. You're the leader. You make decisions every day about how you're going to do things and how you train your people, and you have different kinds of people than the competitor does. You make different decisions. You have different policies. You have different ways of designing and getting the cost out of a product so you can offer it at a lower price. Whatever it is, you're making decisions all day. That makes your company and everything it does unique. And if you understand what that unique thing is, then you can make that promise. And by the way, my most famous saying is that marketing makes promises on behalf of the company. That's branding. Your brand is whether you keep or break those promises. And it's usually a conditional statement. They're real good at this, but they're not so good at that. That's what people say about you when you're not in the room. That's your brand. And if you don't know what that brand is, you think they care about this promise when they don't, they care about this promise, you're going to blow the whole thing. That's marketing in a nutshell. That's the whole thing right there. So your job is to know the promise they want you to keep, and then figure out how those systems and processes and people and policies are going to keep those promises. And then your customers become your sales force. They actually tell everybody about their nice experience. You get momentum beyond your own efforts. That's
Mm-hmm.
a very satisfying thing that happens.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.